Oh boy, I was really excited to throw in Sirius from 1942, a Hungarian film which was all about time travel. I was there. That was all I needed to fuel my excitement to check this one out. And it's set in kind of wartime Hungary. An eccentric scientist claims to have built a time travel machine, and with a daring young count who applies to an application put in a newspaper to marry this scientist's daughter. But first they have to go on a kind of adventure, which is when they fly back to the 18th century. Now the scientist leaves our count there and goes away on these adventures, and the count has a small period of time in which to experience life there. He falls in love with somebody, and along the way insults as many people as he possibly can.
Kifestett arcú pojácák, vérti ruhába bújtatott Vénuszért. A 20. században...
Gróf úr, ön megint jósolni akar.
It's a lot of fun, and to be honest, the time travel element is basically just a conceit to get our character, fish out of water, back to the 18th century to see the boorish kind of nature that his great-grandfather has and how he really kind of mimics it as well. But it's a lot of fun. Sirius isn't the conventional science fiction tale that we are used to. It's an early cinematic time travel tale wrapped in a romance and a period spectacle. The time travel device is more of a narrative catalyst here. And I kind of like that, to be honest. You know, it gave me an easy into the movie. I liked meeting the characters. I liked the production values, and the black and white photography was great. And when it goes back to the 18th century and I know the bulk of the film is going to be there, I really enjoyed it. And for most of the time, there's not a great deal happening narratively. He's back in a time where, yes, he doesn't really worry about affecting the future. He bumps into his great-grandfather. He bumps into various people that he doesn't like. And he just spends his time insulting everybody. It's one of those things that could really have turned the character against the viewer. But somehow, with the performances, it manages to balance a really fun time. You know, I like the romance science fiction element of it. It's where most of the film lies. You know, it's not really about the mechanics. It's about this character who doesn't really fit in his own time, going back to another time where he doesn't quite fit in, but he fits in a little bit better. And there's someone there that really fuels his passion.
Még nem is tudja, uram, kik vagyunk. Vagy talán nem is érdekli.
Bocsánatot kérek, nekem kellett volna.
Már várjon. Hajlandó vagyok még egy ideig meghagyni önnek az inkognitóját.
I think what the film does really well is it uses the time travel to explore historical identity. Legacies, allegiances are all built throughout the interactions of the Count in this one, and I feel like although I don't know all the historical elements of this, I get a fair flavour of them. We're introduced to famous people, I suppose. He talks to someone about a poem that becomes famous, I'm guessing. But it's just all these little elements that you would see pop up in future time travel films that seem to appear here for the very first time that I notice anyway.
Az én gépemnek a sebessége 300 000 kilométer másodpercenként, vagyis óránként 80 év. Pár óra hát pár század év a múltban.
I love those films where the two characters just see each other and there's like an instant attraction. They just draw into one another and everything else just fades out into the distance, and there's this kind of connection. The Count sees this woman and just decides that she is the one for me. I'm going to stop at nothing to achieve everything this woman wants. I want to be her partner through life, and it's really just heartwarming that kind of thing could possibly be out there. I think we've got a wonderful leading lady, and I think that she brings real emotional depth to the role. She's got a wonderful voice. There's a song, a couple of songs that she sings, and she carries this kind of fragility, a kind of elegant poise in her performance as well. I love this film. It's not the most complete or best film that Deaf Crocodile have released, but it was really fun. It was really engaging. It was very different than things I had seen before. And it feels like a film that's ahead of its time, which is all a good thing. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for Sirius. Let's go to the extras. First up, we have a commentary by Stephen R. Bissett. Next, we have Hungary at Tipping Point, a new visual essay by Dr. Will Dodson and Ryan Vrill of Someone's Favourite Productions. It runs for 20 minutes and is talking about Hungary, where it was during this period of time, the big influences that were having on the nation, and how that impacted its filmmaking. Next, we have an interview with Georgi Raduli. Discussion with Georgi Raduli, director of the National Film Institute Film Archive, about the rediscovery and restoration of Sirius, moderated by Dennis Bartok. This one is a brisk 19 minutes, and if you pay attention to the interviews that Dennis Bartok does, they're normally a lot longer, but the information conveyed here is great. Again, talking about the film Sirius, how it was found and restored, how it influenced other films, particularly they're talking about the big ones like Back to the Future, or typical elements of this film that would become tropes in other time travel films to come. Then we have Sirius Verkersfilm, which is ultra rare behind the scenes footage of Sirius during production. It's 3 minutes in length, and this is just wonderful. Such a great addition. It's something that I didn't expect. It's accompanied with music from the film, and just showing them shooting the film is just such a wonderful little time capsule. And then we have a trailer. Also included in this set is a 58-page booklet. We have 2 essays here, one's by Rolf Giesen and the other by Walter Shaw. And then we have notes on the restoration and the Werker film. These are 2 really interesting essays. They open up a little bit more about the movie, pointing out some things that I hadn't noticed initially, which is something I'll be looking for the next time around. And that's the extras for Sirius. So there we have it. Sirius is a cinematic curiosity, part science fiction, part period drama, part romance, part adventure, and it's completely bonkers along the way as well. It's sometimes uneven, but it has a lot of charm, and I think that really brought a lot of the weight for me in this film. I would thoroughly recommend checking this one out. It's very different, very unique. Yeah, what more can I say? I'd love to know your thoughts on Sirius. Let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, mandyfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.